Okay. Okay, so I guess does anybody want to go first or doesn't really matter? Okay, I'll go. I'm just it's gonna sound like a robot, you guys, because I just typed it out and I'm just gonna type what I have, okay? Or read what I have.
Right.
So what I took away, like the real life applications from the article, by the way, we're discussing the article on COVID-19. um, just that way she knows which article that we chose. What I took away, the article underscores the importance of getting vaccinated against the influenza, not just to prevent respiratory symptoms, but to also mitigate the broader health impacts. What I found interesting is that the influenza can have such a wide range of impacts beyond the respiratory system. The link between influenza and the cardiovascular events, for example, was something I hadn't considered before, which highlights the inner Ooh, I typoed the interconnectedness of our body systems, and how infection in one area can have far-reaching effects. Influenza infection triggers a significant pro-inflammatory response in the body. The infection increases the body's metabolic demand and oxygen consumption. So this is basically what I read in there. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I didn't go back there and edit it. Dysfunction and key factor development cardiovascular. Okay. Influenza can cause, I asked my husband how to say this earlier. He's an EMT, so I hope I'm saying this right again. Endothelial dysfunction. Anybody know what that is? No? Okay. Which is a key factor in the
No.
development of cardiovascular diseases. This dysfunction can lead to increased vascular permeability and higher risk of clot formation. So I didn't know any of that. Like I knew COVID-19 was, pretty serious. And I know that people who are pregnant, the elderly, mostly pregnant people and elderly, like were more prone to, I don't know, getting it worse and like death from it, but not cardiovascular side of it. Um, so that's what I found interesting. And then I'll wait for you guys to talk some so that way I don't take up the whole time.
You're good. I kind of was the same ish way.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know like the cardiovascular side, but
Yeah.
let me look at the bullet points. Okay, so what I took away from the whole thing is like basically if you don't have any issues, you're fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Which
Like,
is crazy. I mean, it's basically like the flu, it's influenza, like
yeah,
a regular flu, which is crazy to me, like how serious it was. I mean, or is like shutting down and
yeah,
crazy like what we went through. But I'm surprised I didn't talk more about that either.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm all because
Almost
I was
kind of
like,
brushed
what the
under the
whole
rug now.
was about was like basically saying if you have like any sort of like respiratory issues, cardiovascular issues, like not you're a goner, but like you're most likely gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then what did you find interesting? What I found like so cool, which is probably like this just didn't go through my mind whenever I was reading it, but I read that like when you get a vaccine when you're pregnant, it also transfers
To
like
the baby.
baby,
Yeah,
and I and it reduces the rate of them having
I
being,
know.
and I'm like, I don't get vaccinated. I don't like shots. I can't do them,
That's me.
but like maybe I might when I'm pregnant.
That's me too. It's actually a good idea, honestly. So I got pregnant during COVID. Everybody got
Yeah.
pregnant during COVID.
Yeah.
um, so I was one of them, and I didn't get vaccinated because it was so new back then, and I was just scared. And then I had my son, and I was just scared. Like I thought like we were gonna walk outside and he was gonna get COVID from breathing the air in. Like I was
Mm.
so scared. So maybe if I would have gotten the shot, I would have had peace of mind But back then it
I
was just scary. It was a whole new territory because it was just new, you know?
Nobody knew what it was.
yeah,
Nobody
Exactly,
knew
it was so
what we
exactly.
could
scary
do,
to
what it was
me.
gonna do, how their bodies would react to it. So
Yeah.
Yes, that was my thing. Yeah,
What was so scary to me is that like they made it so fast. So it either had to be planned or
exactly.
something like I didn't
Conspiracy
get it.
theories. Yeah,
I'm just like, watch, we're gonna have an outbreak of everyone having cancer or something in the next
I
50 years. That's
know.
why I did not get it.
I know. Yeah.
All
What
right. And
what
then
about oh yeah, go ahead.
sorry.
No, you're
Um
good. I'm glad we're all talkers because
yeah.
I'll take up the whole 30 minutes if I could.
Um that was what I found interesting. Okay, what I found confusing. Okay, so this wasn't really discussed. This is just like what I was thinking of, like
Yeah.
throughout, like, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that if you get COVID, you can't get it again for another 3 months. You guys know if that's accurate?
I don't know if that's accurate. That's I don't know if that's accurate. No.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've heard, and it's been true, like to me,
Yeah.
but
mhm.
what I would what I would be confused with is how come that's only with COVID but not anything else?
That exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you're supposed to wait. What do they say? You're supposed to wait like 14 days to get like retested or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the beginning, but then now like you're supposed to like get retested every 5 days, and I'm just like I just don't understand it. I think there's still like you know, it's new territory, so like they just kind of come up with stuff
Yeah.
left and right. Like you
Yeah.
don't know what's true. And I'm surprising it didn't really talk about that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was
It's weird to me how oh sorry.
Is Mia talking?
I don't know
Sorry.
who was talking.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Your turn.
Um,
Go.
no, I think it's weird how at the beginning, like it was so serious and how you had to stay out of work for this long and you had to stay away from people. But now it's what, like 5 days, and then you're like back
Yeah,
to work,
it's
back to
basically
normal. And it's
like
just
the
weird to
flu.
me.
Yeah. It is
Yeah,
weird.
it's just how all
I
at the
think
beginning it was so serious.
yeah. Again, like I said, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I think maybe because it was like new territory back then, and then now that they
Mhm,
realize that it's kind of just like the flu, and you know,
mhm.
um, I don't know. I guess you know it's still serious, but I feel like the flu, like regular flu, is serious to still elderly people. Like they can die from the flu. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because then
yeah,
pneumonia and all that stuff. So I
yeah,
don't know.
comes
I
after.
don't get why it was a big deal back then. I wish they would have listed that in here too. But Mia, what did you find interesting?
Um, let me see. I had it in my head. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Um, like, let's see. How how do I say it? How in like certain people can fight it off and how others cannot. Like some people may not have a health condition or
Yeah.
um like a not so good immune system
Mm-hmm.
and they're fine. But people who have never been sick or like have had any problems, they end up passing or just get extremely sick. Like
I
the
know.
it's just
That is
weird to
crazy.
me.
It is weird. Again, I don't know. I don't know if this is TMI and I don't know if we're supposed to like talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm not vaccinated and I've had COVID probably about like 5 times and I'm fine. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
So yeah, that is weird.
Well, maybe it also is from like how you were like as a baby, I guess. Like if you didn't put things in your mouth, like
Yeah.
mess with things, like you get sick easy. Same thing
Yeah.
as an adult, like the more you get sick, the stronger your immune system is. And if like you never ever get sick, that could be like the one time it kills you, you know?
Yeah. So true. So true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always
Um,
thought that though, because there will be people that are
Go ahead. Sorry, I don't know. It's kind of lagging on
they're
my
like,
end, and I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. I don't mean to.
no, you're okay. You're
Okay.
okay. No,
Okay.
that's just what is like interesting to me, and like my takeaway is like how like there's
Yeah,
people that are extremely sick and are fine after.
I
Nothing
know.
goes on, they're fine. And then people who
Exactly. Yeah.
just
I guess
it's
I
just
never
weird.
really in deep thought about that, you know? Crazy. Um, so I'm gonna again piggyback on what we were talking about, an area that still might be confusing. Um, let's see. So is the exact mechanisms by which influenza exacerbates non-respiratory conditions. So while the article mentions these broader impacts, it doesn't like really explain into the biological pathways involved. So like understanding these mechanisms could be crucial for developing more targeted treatments and preventative measures, which is crazy. So like they like gave us all kinds of like what do you say, like statistics, like how many people died and this and this and this, but they didn't really talk about like the treatments for it, the stuff, that the medications, you know what I mean? um
Yeah.
so that was just confusing to me. Like they here you have like you're listing all these people who are dying, but like why aren't you telling me about um like what you're doing for treatments and everything? So
Mhm.
that was kind of for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What is the
Totally know where you're
treatment for it, or how are you
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I answered all of the questions because I wanted to give like people room to talk. um, but I think we're doing pretty good. It's already 3:21. Let's see. Vaccination policies, given the broader impacts. Is there anything else you guys want to add before I talk some more?
um,
I can't
yeah.
stop looking at this chart.
Oh yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I have it on there too. That's so funny that you said that because I was like just looking at it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, me too. I have it up and I'm like, it it just dumbs it down for me. And I'm like, that is so
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah. Um
It's weird how one little like well, just the flu, how it can turn into something like extreme. You
Like
know what I
yeah.
mean?
strokes, heart
Like
failure,
how
like
like on the chart it says the flu and it can end in a stroke or a heart failure. It's just
Yeah,
like,
which is so
wow.
crazy though. So again, like why didn't they list all these things that you can like get after and like what it can lead to, like renal failure or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But like so like right now, what are the treatments for pneumonia? Like, you know what I mean? Like if they're treating COVID-19, then how I don't know. I don't know how I'm trying to say it. I hope it's getting through to you guys, but I
well,
just don't get it.
I think why because like there's so many treatments like for the flu and for COVID you get prescribed Paxlovid and like
Yeah.
that's all you get. It's I work in a cancer center and
Yeah.
everyone like thinks like cancer is so bad and I'm all like actually it's not even as bad as like diabetes. Like
That's
diabetes
true.
is bad, but
Yeah.
the only reason they make COVID or cancer such a big deal is because there's so many treatments and they're harsh treatments too. That's the
I
only
know.
reason
And
it's such a big
also
deal.
cancer, I mean, I really don't know go like in depth for cancer, but I feel like right now a lot of like our generation, actually I don't know how old you guys are, but like my generation and like having kids, like we're really focusing on like the sugar thing. And I never thought I was gonna be that mom, you know what I mean? But like watching sugar intake for my kids and the red dye or whatever, like just healthier choices because all of that has like a big thing for cancer. And it just blows
Mhm.
my mind. But see, they should
Mhm.
have one about cancer. I could go on for days about
Well,
cancer and that
me
kind of stuff.
too. Me too. Let's request for that to be our next assignment.
Right?
Because I totally know what you mean. Because I have patients who come in, and like one of the questions I have to ask them is if they smoked or if they've ever smoked, and they go, "Well, I had this one patient who goes, yeah, I smoked like 50 years ago, and
Well,
I still got lung cancer." And I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I know. I know. So let's see. For research gaps, I think she had that as a bullet point. Do you guys remember she had like or maybe she didn't. Maybe it's something that I was just wondering.
On the rubric or just like the
Yeah, so like you know how she had like questions for us to like talk about?
I have the
So
there's
like
one we already talked about.
what I took away, what I found interesting, all that stuff. Maybe it's just something I wanted to talk about. Um
Okay.
So I put research gaps, question mark, question mark. What are the current gaps in research regarding the non-respiratory impacts of influenza and how can future studies address these gaps? And my thoughts on that was maybe like a comparative analysis, conducting comparative studies between influenza and other viral infections, which can possibly help in identifying unique and shared pathways of disease progression leading to better targeted interventions, which we kind of already talked about that, but I guess there's no point for me to say it because kind of already talked about kind of stuff. Your meeting will end in 10 minutes. Did you guys get that?
No.
No? Okay. So it's just me.
No.
Okay. Well, I think we
I
did pretty
see it.
good. We all came on here and we talked. So, unless if there's anything else that you guys want to add, but that was mine. I'm done. We're good?
There's
Um,
something in my head, but I
I think
lost
we're
it.
good. I know. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like there. All the questions are gonna pop up once we end this
I
meeting.
know. I hate that. Whenever
Yeah.
it's anxiety and pressure, you just like lose your
Yeah.
train of thought. But thank you guys for bearing with
Yes.
me. I know I'm kind of a lot and I talk a lot and I'm sorry for messaging you guys all the time,
I
but
love it. I love
okay.
it. Like you're on top of it.
Thank you. Okay, well, I'm gonna end the recording real quick. Hold on, because if it sucks and I didn't save it, I'm gonna cry and we're gonna have to redo this all again. So